Well, hello. We actually had a funny moment yesterday, still over here dealing with this appeal, and now suddenly finding out what our next port of call is. Well, first of all, it's going to be translated into every country's language in the World Council for Health so that we can distribute it so people are ready if we get accepted by the Federal Supreme Court outside Geneva, where we delivered it to. But when we got back, unexpectedly, we'd managed to print out the entirety of, show how many pages, 140 pages.
So I was supposed to print this small little bit, which is like 6 pages, but I sent the PDF wrong and ended up 140. But it's a positive thing because it's the rules and procedure of the Unified Patent Court and then the Administrative Committee decisions and stuff like that. Very good thing to have, especially with what's coming in regarding the patent court laws coming up in the next few months.
Coming up in Ireland and a referendum. We talk about random referendums when obviously the main elephant in the room is the treaty and the international health amendments, which will make everything that they say an international law rather than just a advice or recommendation. But they were talking about the patent laws, and my problem always was that what used to be the case. My problem is that they publicly fund these, very serious and very expensive and very dangerous, say, genetic engineering little experiments, and then they patent the results. So we've funded it. And it's supposed to be a medicine for us, but then they hide the ingredients, and they're allowed to do that. So, but this is a whole nother level. We're talking about jurisdiction at the moment, and how there isn't one common law court in Switzerland that I could come across. So we had to go back into the legalese system. But in this, crack it open. It seems to say that the patent law, for these bigwigs living here and enjoying all these little experimentations on public money, that they might get that patent court does have a common law potential. And I can't remember what the other thing is now. But what's your feeling about the referendum or about the trip?
I think both of you just kind of covered everything there, so there's not left for me to say except thanks very much for the opportunity.
Yeah, but it's really good fun. And what would you say is your main concern if for example, the WHO treaty does come in as if it's some sort of agreement?
Yeah. Can you repeat that again?
If it's only like 7 weeks until that WHO treaty and the international health amendments, regulation amendments come in, what would be your concern? Are you most concerned about the surveillance or the?
Well, I mean, it's happening already, but it's just going to get a lot worse.
Yeah.
Whatever you're feeling or struggling with now, it's going to be 10 times worse in a few weeks' time, which is what we definitely cannot let happen.
We mustn't let it happen. So whatever people can do, let's do it. And I'll obviously keep you posted what happens on this side of things. Yeah. But I think even the fact that it's in there, and remember, it's a whole list of. It's not just our concerns from the strength of our research. This is all the concerns of all the member states. So I think it's going to be an interesting one that can't be ignored. And that's what everyone has been desperate for. It's like, how can they keep ignoring all these questions or calling them misinformation? Yeah. But you can't call a formal notice from another country a bit of misinformation. You can't dismiss it like that.
25, was it?
Yeah.
25
different countries that objected to the vaccine being pushed out at the beginning.
Yeah.
And they were just totally overlooked, Jen.
Totally overlooked. And when I say
completely lied about.
And the thing about it is that these 25, they're not, each one is a handful. One of those 25 is 77 countries is involved in that notification, and in another one 100 and something doctors. So it's a huge case. A huge case, and it should be for them. And when I say them, I'm talking about everybody who's supposed to be responsible here and liable and making good decisions. Yeah. This assumed authority is on the basis that they're making good decisions, and yet it's a disaster. Yeah. So we mustn't let it happen.
I don't think anybody knows really at this stage what the answers are.
No.
But we have to keep pushing forward and be willing to do what's necessary, because if we don't, we'll just never know. And as we sit down and try to figure out what the answer is, this whole thing just continues, and the genocide and the great replacement and Agenda 2030 is kicking in, and we just can't do that. We have to be willing to do what we have to do.
Yeah.
Even just turning up with a packet of envelopes. Might just be something as small as that, but every little action helps.
Turning up to your local council or to your TD's
Whatever
office.
Whatever it might be, but everyone
is contributing something.
Don't think that you can't do anything. Everyone can do something, even if it is something just as small as bringing a packet of envelopes.
I think
whatever it might be.
Love it.
We shouldn't be. Sorry, I apologise. We shouldn't be sitting around waiting for a saviour.
No.
Nobody's going to save us, only ourselves. And we have to be, I suppose, stand out and be the shining light. We don't know if this is going to work.
No,
but at least we can say we tried.
And also, one more bit of thought: the treaty that isn't being talked about is the one about gender, and there's a case going on in Australia today about whether somebody is a woman or not who wanted to be on a women's only dating site. Now, I can't believe that a case like that gets the time in court, but they're going to be in a tight corner because this treaty is coming through to say that you're not allowed to biologically define men and women anymore, which is this matter of sorry? Yeah, well, exactly, all those things, jurisdiction. We spotted it in time in Ireland when they said, we'll take the women's places in the home, we'll take that out for your own good, all emancipated. When everybody spotted immediately that we need women, men protected in our constitutions. So this is exactly the same. We need to be able to define ourselves as men and women because men and women in jurisdiction are higher than corporations, higher than public servants and governments. So we need that. And while we're building courts and common law courts and jural assemblies, we need to keep hold of that so that we can't be shut down as if we're talking violence or gender violence or whatever they want to call it, a war against humanity, just to say you're a woman or say you're a man. Anyway, we're going to just try and hold our own. But whatever they suggest, whatever you hear about, just fire off an email to say no. So there's a paper trail.
Yeah,
rebuttal.
You can.
Because if you don't, they'll take your silence as you agree to it.
Absolutely.
And if we don't, we'll just never know, So we just have to keep trying and doing what we have to do in order to try and stop this genocide and replacement,
Brilliant. Okay. And I will just say about replacement that it's from the microcosmic to the macro. So in some senses, in the genetic engineering, a technology is called gene drives of only 10 years old it is. And it can replace a whole species in a split second, obviously if you're a quick reproducer like a mosquito. But it's also being tried on every single higher species, including us. So we need to pay attention. And then that is playing out in a political way by actually disabling everybody, by moving whole populations into another country, you're moving them out, prioritising one against the other, creating instability. We must stay united. Okay? So I call it a day.
Yeah. Slán.
Slán.